click something, you don't realize it. I feel like that's what happens to me a lot, and I'm just like, what the heck?
Uh,
What did I do?
and that's how we're gonna be starting. Hello, everybody. I'm gonna turn on
I can't help it. Gravity
monetization.
hates me. Gravity hates me. I drop my phone a lot. It's a miracle it's still alive.
I'm gonna set it off as like I choose the mid rolls. I'm not gonna let YouTube do it. Even though YouTube is like, but let us, the machine, the website that messes up all the time, do it for you.
Oh, there's someone named Five Nights at Bacon saying
I'm
hi.
gonna set it
That's a
off.
fun name.
That is a fun.
That's a really
name.
fun sounding name.
Hello, everybody. So yes, as Sam said, she dropped her phone and she subscribes to horrible people. That's the message I got.
No, it's like sometimes I'll just drop my phone or fumble my phone, or on the rare occasion where my phone will like stay on when I'm asleep, and the cat just sleeps on top of the phone and she'll click on stuff, not realizing she's clicking on stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and it just subscribes to the most random stuff, and then I won't find out about it until months later. And
okay,
like,
I really do want to know, but let's see. Let's see who's coming in. Night Fury, hello, Night Fury. Five Nights of Bacon, Devon Edwards, and Dark Rose 375. Hey, Tenny.
welcome everyone.
I love that reference. Well, I don't even know what, like, is that. Hello, everybody.
Oh, and Night Fury Lover 31 is saying, hi, Henry and Sam. Hope you had a good week. Thank you.
But yeah, we're beginning more of the fight of Eggman and Sonic. As you see, I did some more stuff. I stopped around here. I wanted to do more, but I was busy actually learning how to rig these characters and all that stuff. I didn't give Eggman the new rig, even though I should, but I'm too lazy now. That takes a lot of work right now, and I don't wanna.
And I have a slice of pizza.
And Sam has pizza.
It's a square slice. It's a New York style square slice of pizza.
It is.
It's mostly bread.
It is Sicilian.
Yeah, like these particular slices are mostly bread, so whatever cheese on top, it's like a flourish. It's like, but I want more cheese. I want all the cheese. I want cheese, grubby.
I'm just thinking, should Eggman be at the sun? Well, like, if you saw my, animation, Sam, of like Boom Sonic going like berserk on Eggman by beating him up. I wonder if it should be a side shot or should it be like a front shot and see Eggman slowly looking down and Sonic still drilling at him.
Could always put that up to a vote.
Yeah, let's do that. Hey, Bethany. Let's do that. Let's do some voting. You know, I don't think many animators would do the whole like vote what I should animate. They probably have like a full-on plan, while I don't.
I feel like it takes someone who's very open-minded to just entrust the audience to just make decisions for the story. Because there are like 3 types of people that'll do polls that are related to their story. One is the person who has no plan and just wants to do stuff with audience input, which is what category you fall under. There's the second person who lets the people vote on what they want to happen in the story, but has a plan for each and every option. And then there are the people who put up a vote as a courtesy, but they may or may not actually follow the poll. So
we have...
at that point, it doesn't really matter what you vote for. But yeah. Like, I think it's very admirable. I'm definitely the kind of person where I feel like I need to have plans for whatever option ends up winning.
I'm just like, this is the side shot, and then there's the front shot of like Eggman just looking down, like, grrr! Like either way, like Eggman is still gonna like grab Sonic, and then we're gonna see like a big move from Eggman, because last time we're doing a lot of like Sonic favoritism. Eggman needs to put up a fight.
Yeah.
He's gonna slam him like a wrestler. All right, let me check real quick. What are we?
Oh, Bethany says, "Would you believe that I got a fucking Domino's commercial?" Because I guess I guess I mentioned pizza, and then Night Fury mentioned pizza, and Bethany got a Domino's commercial.
Oh damn! I was about to like end the poll, and now it's like back to 50-50, man. But yeah.
And then Rui mentions doing audience requests. I find that very admirable. Again, like I'm the kind of person where I don't really have commission mindset either. Like if someone asks me to do a voice or do like voice lines and stuff, it's like okay, I'll do them eventually, because I'm a very busy person and I'm not the strongest, and I don't have the best time management skills, and I'm not the healthiest.
That, and yet I saw you slam like a wrestler.
When? But yeah, so it's like, yeah, it's hard for me to think in like commissions mindset. Like I feel like to successfully do like live requests for me, I think it'd have to be like the right setting and the right mood. Like I thought of one idea for a stream, and I set up the save file for it in Cooking Simulator, where it would require a large audience to watch and like request things though. That's the one problem that I'm going to be facing early on. So this might not be happening for a while now unless I can pull off a miracle and have a lot of people watching it very early on in my so-called streaming career that I've yet to actually do yet. But it'd be fun just to like have people like request certain dishes and then I have to make them.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I think that'd be a really cool idea. But yeah, like Cooking Simulator, it's a lot of fun. It's one of the few first-person games that I can play without wanting to vomit.
Wait,
if I take my time.
What? Nani?
But yeah, so it would require a lot of work and a lot of interaction. But yeah, like I have a little, what I've been calling like first-person sickness, where there are a lot of first-person games that I cannot play because either the graphics are too good or too bad, and it makes me want to throw up. And
man,
yeah,
imagine
it's
like
not fun.
Imagine being hired by a video game team saying like, okay, does this make you throw up because it's so good, or is it making you throw up because it's so bad? I can picture you being used for market research on that.
I would be used for like disability accessibility purposes. Like they'll just give me the game and like with a trash can right next to me, it's like, okay, can you play this game? Does it make you want to? Okay, it's making her throw up. Okay, it's not a good game. We need to work on this feature.
Take notes. And she's throwing up because it's so good because she sees the sweat from Eggman. All the open balls.
But yeah, so I don't even know if it has an actual name, but I personally call it first-person sickness. So there are very few first-person games that I can play. With Cooking Simulator, I kind of took a chance on it because there was no publicly available demo, so to try it out, I had to actually purchase the thing and hope I didn't get sick. So my original plan was like, I'll play this for 2 hours or like under 2 hours, and if I find myself getting sick, I'll just ask Steam to refund me. I ended up playing it for 5 hours in the group chat with our friends, and they watched me set the kitchen on fire and cook and put beer and everything, and it was fantastic. And I noticed that, like, okay, with Cooking Simulator, as long as I'm in a mode where I can take my time and I'm not, like, running against the clock for things, I can tolerate the game by going as fast or slow as I want to, and that'll prevent me from wanting to vomit or prevent me from having a headache. Although that's also a game I need to play on a full stomach, because if I play when I'm hungry or I haven't eaten in a while, I'm gonna get a headache, and that's probably due to hunger and first-person shenaniganery. So I'm kind of trying to learn how to cope with it. Another game that I discovered I can play in first person is American Truck Simulator. For that game, there was a demo, so I downloaded the demo, and I played the demo for a couple hours, and then it's like, okay, well, I can actually tolerate this. This is not causing me any sort of, like, sickness at all. And because in American Truck Simulator, you're basically just sitting in one spot, and just being able to move your head very much like you're actually driving. So it's like, huh, I'm not feeling nauseous or anything. Like, I don't feel like I'm gonna have a seizure. So that was actually pretty fun. It's like, you know what? The full game is only a $5. Might as well get it. So I bought the full game the same night. And it was pretty cool. So I'm kind of slowly self-medicating myself to first-person games, but there's still a lot of stuff that I cannot play, or I vomit, have a headache, or risk a seizure. So
wait, are you prone to seizures?
I've gotten close to one at one point, but like I haven't actually like fully had an episode. Because if I fully had an episode, that requires 911. I've gotten to the
Yeah.
stage where I've had a headache and I was kind of non-responsive for a while, and thankfully, yeah, it was not very pretty. Like that time that I almost got to that point where I almost went catatonic. I was not surrounded by the best company at the time. It was a miracle they shut off the game and noticed I was kind of non-responsive.
Man.
Yeah. I did not have very good friends prior to meeting my current group of friends, so
Okay, so let's see. Why don't you tell the people of what you think of season 3 of the Metarex?
Oh yeah, we've been watching more Sonic X.
Yes, we have. Like, this is like my God knows how many rewatch. It's been fun. I've been telling Sam about the differences of the dub versus sub.
So you've been telling me sub versus dub differences.
There
and
are
then
some differences.
And then I think the characters like Black and Arceus, and you were like, this one has a cult. This one has a fandom. People want to bone this one, and I'm like, well,
Yeah.
I can see it in the legs. It's very Bayonetta-y in terms of its legs, but like, this one has a cult? Seriously?
Well, I don't know, Sam. You were like fanning yourself off.
No!
Say that for the fans right now.
Why do you make stuff up? No, that's naughty. Bad.
I don't know. Let's ask the chat if they believe it or not.
But yeah, so it's been pretty good. And like I feel like Cosmo's supposed to be like the biggest focus on that season, but she's kind of not there a lot.
Yeah,
and also got to the and we also got to the episode where like Cosmo and Tails are kind of becoming a thing, and it's kind of adorable seeing the ship sort of flourish. But also, like, there are better ways to develop a relationship. But like, you know, it's a dub. They have to match the mouth flaps. They have to go by the original translation, in addition to like whatever localization changes they're making. So it's like you can't blame them, but at the same time, it's like, okay, if you really want to sell me that this is like a growing romance, I want more. And I want more elaboration. And then Chris almost died that one time. And then, you know, we saw the old Dark Sonic scene, so that was interesting.
The
and then
infamous Dark Sonic scene, yeah.
And then there was that one scene with Knuckles and Amy where it's like Amy's like, you know, you're too hot-headed, and then in the Japanese dub, you showed me the Japanese dub specifically where he's like, don't decide my character traits. We were like, that would totally be them in a D&D session.
Yeah, now I want to make an animation of like Sonic and friends doing a like D&D session. Like maybe that could be like what I've originally had in mind is like doing the night stuff. They can do that.
Yeah, so like maybe as like, oh my god, they could be like in full cosplay.
Yes.
Just around the D&D board, or I don't know, would you play D&D with a board, a bunch of a whole bunch.
Yeah, you play with a board and stuff like that.
So yeah, like they're in full cosplay.
Cardboard cutout you have around.
You're full cosplay with the D&D board or whatever, and then like they have like it's not a D&D session if you don't have snacks, so they just have like random snacks everywhere. And then Amy's just like chewing him out for trying to make himself too overpowered. It's like, don't decide my character traits.
Yes, my character would so do that.
It's like, that's too overpowered. That's not going with your roles. Relax.
They didn't even invite Shadow because they know he will be so pro.
Or he'd take the game too seriously.
Yes. Remember last time, like, when we said, like, okay, Shadow, destroy it, and he actually Chaos Blast us?
And then Sonic would be the rules lawyer, trying to make up excuses to do cool stuff that's against the game rules.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, we kept getting ideas for animations while watching X together. But also, I gave Henry a bit of my cursed knowledge that I know. And then he was just like, okay, I'm gonna animate this real quick. I'll be right back.
Which I did. I'm still debating if I should, like, upload on YouTube or not, but yeah. It's like freaking, I think, 10, 12 seconds still.
It's very short, yeah. So... it might not be very uploadable in terms of one, not only what is said, but also two, it's extremely short in the first place.
Oh,
so
I don't care what it was said. That's not the first time, but still.
But yeah, so like yesterday at 11:56 p.m. he just says blame Sam and then posts a little animation he made. It's like, congratulations, you've learned a little bit of the cursed knowledge I have. I have corrupted him just a little bit. Revengeance for constantly being told to go to sleep.
But I even told you the fun fact of why Sonic crotch rubs everything. And there, that should give you guys an idea of like what kind of curse we're talking about. Because Sonic and Sonic X, like, there was when they went to the Love Planet, he was crotch robbing everything.
Well, like scratch rubbing everything, but there's this one scene, there's this one little thing of animation where he looks like he's being surrounded by trading cards, and like he's like moving the two of them in his hands, but it kind of looks like he's rubbing them against his crotch, or like
I don't know what you mean. Go on.
But yeah, so yeah, he's like, oh no, he's crotch rubbing, and then Stacy just like chimed in the background. It's like, he's anointing. That's like a hedgehog behavior where like they spread their scent on everything. And I'm like, me, the little hedgehog expert in the back of my brain, it's like, yeah, they do anoint. Like they just rub their spit and shit on everything. Like real life hedgehogs are gross, weird little creatures, and I still love them.
Oh yeah. They're a crime against humanity, but still, like, they get a pass because they're cute.
They're a mistake of evolution, but I love them. They're like a chihuahua with spikes, and I love them.
Yes.
But yeah, so
we
had so much fun watching X. It's become a little bit of a tradition.
Yeah. Let's see. We know that Cosmo and Galaxina likes planting, which raises so many questions, but yes.
Oh yeah, that's another thing we got on about.
I gotta see like, if the Japanese, like, I know that Cosmo talked about her sister once, or maybe she never did her, I don't know, but I gotta check.
But yeah, so we were like, when in the dub, they were like, oh, you know, me and Galaxina used to love gardening, but it's like they're plant people, so how do you garden as a plant person?
They're like, it's kind of like with the animals, like there are just inferior parts of the species, I guess.
And then, like, what came to me was like, maybe it's like plant sim logic from The Sims. So I don't know if any of y'all have played The Sims 3, but in The Sims 3, in the University expansion pack, they add plant sims, who are sims that have like plant DNA in them. And I think you can make them in a lab if you mess with like genetic engineering equipment enough.
Hey, Mike
or sometimes
in
your garden. By being a talented enough gardener, right? So maybe it's like plant sim logic where like Cosmo and her people would be like the plant sims where they're like highly intelligent and very human-like, but then there are also normal plants that like don't have higher intelligence, so maybe it's something like that. But yeah, it's interesting to think about. It's like, honey, you're a plant. Well, you like gardening. You're a plant, though. Does that mean that you garden your own people? What the hell?
But I do wonder, like, has your opinion at all changed by Cosmo now that you know the character a little more?
Like, what do you mean, like, if my opinion's changed on her or not? Because I didn't really have an opinion on Cosmo going in. It's just, like, I was...
like,
my whole experience with Cosmo...
Yes, I'm just saying, like, has watching Sonic X, like, made you go, like, wow, she's more useless than I remembered, or, like, wow, she's much cooler, and blah, blah, blah. Like, has any of that changed?
I don't know. Like, again, my whole, like, connection with Cosmo was just, it was so random. It started out with in a Gardic phone thing where the prompt was like Sonic and Cosmo go drinking. And then I just kept accidentally doing a Cosmo voice. And then I recorded something in a Cosmo voice, which ended up being the Cosmo asks for a beer thing, which you animated because I sent it to you as a joke. Yes. And then you animated it like a mad lad. Yes. And then that's how I kind of like ended up doing the voice for a Cosmo mod, and and all that. So it's like, I feel like my relationship with Cosmo as a character just kind of started out random. It's like finding a puppy on the street, and then the puppy just kind of follows you home, and you take care of it for a while, and then the puppy just ran out the house, and you haven't seen it for a while, but it comes back every now and again just to say hi and bring you stuff. So yeah, I don't really know. Like, I feel like the fandom has its own interpretation of Cosmo, and then the Cosmo in the actual show is incredibly different. But I can see where, like, I can see why she has a fandom, kind of, sort of.
Oh wait, like I think now that the stream caught up with the fans, they said so it's like Sonic people and the little animals are like flickies, and Bethany typed in all caps, wait, does that mean that they use manure on the babies for growing? Okay, so in Cosmo's defense, I don't think it would be used for babies, mostly because Cosmo was the last baby, like, of the species.
And that just gives me the idea of, like, she goes to the gardening center or, like, the flower nursery and just orders a bag of compost and just eating a bag of compost like it's potato chips.
Now I do question their diet because we never see Cosmo eat anything, so Or do you think like she works kind of like a Namek? She only needs to drink water or anything liquid and she's fine.
You know, it's never elaborated on, but, like, the rest of them eat. And I feel like it... you know, I don't know.
We never see any of her people, like, eat anything. Well, mostly because they were just there just to die, but...
You know, I don't... Now that just kind of has me thinking, because for a while I tried to grow actual cosmos, like the flower on the windowsill. And I've gotten into gardening. And there's a lot of stuff you can give your plants. Like, there's a lot of, like plant vitamins and fertilizer, and, you know, obviously soil and different kinds of soil. You could also pour coffee on plants. Like, say you have some coffee that's already been brewed, it's kind of going bad. You can use that to water the plants because the caffeine will actually keep bugs away. Because caffeine is a natural bug deterrent, and that's why the caffeine plant like grows. It grows caffeine. It's not for us to get energy; it's to kill the plants. It's a natural pesticide. So I would occasionally put coffee or coffee grounds on my plants to help try to keep the bugs away. But yeah, like. Yeah, I don't know. That's a really interesting question. So, like, maybe a mix of, like, photosynthesis, plant vitamins, other plant stuff, and, like, maybe, like, other liquids? I don't know. That's a good question.
Mike Darklighter says casual puppy home.
Casual plant home.
And I do question them, but let's see. So really, like, your opinion didn't really change at all now that you know the actual character this time, outside of like she tells his girlfriend, even though like the girlfriend like you could tell that they had it planned for a while. Maybe they thought they had more episodes, and they're like, no, you gotta start wrapping up because this is a pretty short season that we're watching.
Yeah, like. Maybe they had more planned, but again, like, budget constraints and all that, like, made it a shorter season. So maybe there could have been more to elaborate on with Cosmo and her people, but they just did what they could with what they had. But yeah, I don't think my opinion on Cosmo really changed much. It's just interesting seeing the context of, like, why people like this character. But again, I feel like this is the case with all the franchise characters, but, like, especially with Cosmo, because she's only in X. And, like, she's never appeared in the games or anything. Like, she's been referenced a couple times, like, outside of X. That's pretty much it. Like, she doesn't have any appearances anywhere else.
I'm trying to remember where.
I think there's been art released of, like, Tails, and there's, like, a flower pot in the background, and I think that's meant to be, like, a Cosmo reference.
Okay. I was like, I know everything about these characters, and I don't remember that. Okay, yeah.
Who's Sonic Trash now?
Well, I'm just saying, like, I thought you were talking about it in the games. I was like, where in the world was Cosmo? And I swear,
anyway,
if you said, like, well, the H's, of course, that's Cosmo's people, which that's probably going to be their excuse if they ever bring them still.
Yeah, like, because she only appeared in this one thing and just, like, gets little drip feed references every now and again, I feel like that's kind of a recipe for, like, the version of the character that's popular with the fans is not 100% true to like what was actually presented in the show. And Mark Darklighter.
Mark
Mike
Darklighter. Hi, Mark.
Mike Darklighter saying many Sonic characters find themselves in a place where people are fans of them for reasons far removed from their actual appearance. That's true.
Yeah.
And so I feel like Cosmo's like the biggest victim of that because again, she only appears in this one medium. So
Now-
if you only appear in one thing, that's going to be a recipe for like people will naturally want more of what they like. So that just leads to like headcanon and
Now-
like fan theory and all that. People are going to
now
like that.
Sorry. The thing is, like, Jack and I once talked about this, and it is something to think about. Like, if she never had any type of relationship with Tails or any of the characters, do you think Cosmo would still be remembered as fondly?
I feel like the chances of that are 50-50. Hold on, I'm eating pizza.
The professional streamer eating pizza.
I'm hungry.
She's hungry. You see, people, I feed my hosts.
Excuse you, my mother brought this pizza for us.
And who hired your mom?
But anyway, whenever you asked me that the first time, it's like, I feel like the chances of that are 50-50 because one, Cosmo has a very cute design. It's basically a Sonic interpretation of a Gardevoir, and it's adorable. So I feel like on design alone, there are a lot of
a character at the time. I think probably.
I don't know anything about Pokemon besides Pikachu and all the ones that are like furry bait. So,
Sam, you're going to.
No. But yeah, so like, she has a very cute design, and I feel like just based on design, I feel like that's a guarantee to become a favorite Sonic character for somebody. Like there are some characters who just like based on appearance, and
that
that's
is true.
basically
There's Infinite. Nobody remembers his character, but like he looks cool.
remember his character.
I don't know.
But
Sam, tell me about
what?
Infinite. What did he do?
So there's this jackal dude. He doesn't really have a name in the beginning, and he's gonna invade the base where the Eggman that does the science is experimenting with the Phantom Ruby, and then his whole squad. What?
That is comic book canon. That is not like that does not count. I'm talking about what? Tell me about him in the game. The game that he's in most popular Sonic title, Sonic Forces.
I love how this started with like you asking me whether or not Cosmo will be remembered if she wasn't Tails' love interest or girlfriend, and now we've just spiraled into like, okay, here's a test. Tell me all about Infinite.
Yes, tell me all about him. So the game never mentions that, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, well if you're not going by the fucking preview comic, that was supposed to be happening before all of that stuff, and it's supposed to be canon, but again, it's a comic. They could have put this in the game, which is very stupid.
I remember, like, even though I wasn't interested in the comic, I'm like, why don't they put that into special, like, you know, those extras in, like, video games?
Yeah.
Like, or maybe, like, once you 100% the game, like, you unlock the comic. That would have been cool. It's free anyway, so it's not like they're losing profit.
It's like visual novels have galleries to look at the art like all the time. Why couldn't they just put a gallery in there similar to that?
But then again, they would have to translate it for Japanese. Well, then again, the Japanese do have the comics as well, kind of, sort of. So,
I don't know. Like, I don't work at Sega. I can't make decisions for the games for them. But like, you know, like if it was that vital to the story, it could have been included in the game somewhere, even if it's only like a gallery thing that has to be unlocked. But yeah, so now you're trying to quiz me about Infinite of all things.
Oh. After you're done with that, I'll ask what Mike just asked.
So Infinite was in a tube, and it's alluded to the idea that like he was created, but no, he was just body modified to hell and back. He used the Phantom Ruby. He has beef with the custom hero character, and called them a child, and then basically like left them as the lone survivor of the Custom Hero squad because presumably the rest of the Custom Hero squad was killed in the war.
You want to know what's
Um,
funny about that?
What?
That's Sega calling out the Sonic fans saying that we have no friends.
But yeah, so love the Custom Hero as the lone survivor. So you know, Custom Hero has all this trauma related to Infinite, and just kind of scared of Infinite. But over the story, becomes braver and it comes to confronting Infinite. So yeah, that's character growth right there. The Custom Hero doesn't even talk. He has a fucking character arc. Can you believe this shit? I love the Custom Hero role so much. I want to pet the red wolf. God damn it. But yeah, so you know, fights happen. Boss battle happens. Infinite gets defeated and yeeted into null space, and basically is dead.
Yes.
The end.
Beautiful. Zavik 2.0. Okay, so, what Mike said is there another original character to Sonic X that isn't so fondly remembered that didn't have a strong connection to a character? I'm gonna have to say, let's see, a character that's popular but doesn't have a strong connection to any of the characters. So Topaz doesn't count.
I mean, Ella kind of like has a friendship with Amy. I feel like Tanaka doesn't really have a connection with any of the characters directly.
I was gonna say like well, Tanaka's not really that popular, believe it or not. I would have to say Helen. She has barely any connections to any of the Sonic characters outside of Sonic by like one quick
that was
adventure.
one time.
Yeah, and then it was like Sonic has said, "Man, I wish I could help you. Bye." Which honestly, like, that's a real like. There's only so much you can do for some rando. I remember in my videos, like, whenever Helen actually did show up, she tends to die all the time.
You're so mean.
Because I remember, like, Sonic, by one of my first Shadow shorts is, like, Sonic, Shadow's car problem. It's like, Sonic's like, oh yeah, I was driving with some girl and when I noticed you, like, the car crashed or something, and then it's like, and now here we are. I think she's dead now.
Damn.
How
long ago was that?
Man, I think Sonic Unleashed was just released and stuff like that. So, pretty long
Yep, someone's
time.
saying Infinite is the most unintentional, cute, and fluffy character in the series. I know, right? Like, Maskless Infinite is so adorable. I just want to pet him in his fluffy tail.
Yeah, but does Maskless Infinite count if we never saw him?
We saw a hint of him. And we also saw him in the comics, so we have that.
Oh, you're
So
counting the comics again.
We know what he looks like without the mask. I was about to say without the comics. We know what he looks like without the mask.
Without the
But yeah,
yes.
like, the only bad thing about Infinite, like, not counting anything game related, is the merch. Infinite has, like, he has merch, thankfully, but his merch is always flawed somehow. Like, the first piece of merch he ever had was a Tomy figure that came in a 3-pack that had Infinite, a Sonic, which had been, the Sonic Tomy figure had been released in so many other packs that, like, they must have just had a surplus of Sonics. And it also came with a Zavik figure. And as far as I know, that's the only Zavik piece of merch that there is. And unfortunately, he's crouching down. So he's, like, permanently bent over.
Yes.
Zavik is supposed to be
He's
5'1".
like, it goes up there, buddy.
Yeah, like, Zavik is supposed to be 5'1" compared to Sonic, so he should be significantly taller, but they crouched him down, so it's like, god damn it.
Like,
so yeah, the
not
scaling is off. It's not! He needs to be tall!
Don't you mean Zabak? Yeah, because he, like, even in Japanese, they don't even know what to call him. It's kind of funny.
I feel like
He's one
any
of
names
those
starting with a
characters.
Z are automatically weird, or get weird in terms of pronunciation. So yeah. I hate the way they pronounce his name and fucking forces. Ugh. But anyway, okay. If I put my demon thirst aside for like 2 seconds, but yeah. So Infinite came in a 3-pack of figures that had Zavok, Sonic, and Infinite. The Infinite figure, however, it only looks good from the side.
Yeah.
Because if you're staring directly at it from like a straight shot, you can see that the mask is kind of squished and very narrow, and it looks like he has like a very thin face and eyes that are too close together. And yeah, he doesn't have that much articulation or movement either, so the figure kind of sucks. However, I got my hands on that figure, and for the longest time, I used him to hold my tablet pen for my tablet, and it was very adorable.
Oh yeah, I
And he
think
was
you
trying-
showed us photos and stuff.
Yeah, like I don't have any pictures of it on my current phone, but I would use a little Infinite figure to just hold up my tablet pens or whatever pen I was
used to
using to
hold
write
the
at the
bread.
time. Yeah, that was my Infinite plush. So then there was an Infinite plush that was supposed to come out in 2019 or like early 2020, but then the pancetta happened and everything was closed down or significantly slowed down, so that plush got delayed due to COVID. And yeah, he got delayed for like ever, and
Yeah.
then
It was to the
he was
point where
kind
it
of
seemed like it was just flat out canceled.
yeah, we thought it was flat out canceled, but then around November, December, he was being released slowly, but I think in batches. So there were certain parts where you could get him, but then he would otherwise be like out of stock. And then I found him on Amazon, and then I got him. I got him on Christmas Eve.
Yes.
And he was my Christmas gift to myself, and he was adorable. And I still have the picture where I held him up just all proud, and I'm wearing a red turtleneck and a green glove. It's I'm the custom hero holding a tiny Infinite.
I don't think I remember that one.
Hold on, I have the picture somewhere. I know I have the picture though, because like just the serendipity of it all. My life kind of functions on
Mike
serendipity.
Says he is
So
a helpful general.
I like Infinite. He's floofy. Although
No.
the you know one of the worst thing about the plush, like it's a fine plush from the front, but don't look at the back of his head because he has basically male pattern baldness in the back of his head.
Don't judge me, I'm
He doesn't-
old.
He doesn't have a full head of hair. It doesn't look good from behind, and part of me wonders, like, if I had like the right material, could I make
Why
him
are
like
you
hair
making fun
plugs
of
or
me?
something? I can make him like hair plugs so that way the back of his head doesn't feel that naked or like it's balding. So yeah,
Hey,
like
baldness is beautiful. Look at father.
So yeah, it's a very unfortunate plush from behind.
The only thing I hate
that's
is
why I
that my
don't
head
photograph
isn't
him that
round
often.
like you.
Yeah, I don't photograph him that often because again, he looks horrible from behind.
Oh, wait, did
But
you
other
send me
than
the
that,
photo? Oh,
it's a
okay.
cute plush. Yeah, like I held him up the day I got him.
I was bored.
I can't believe he came on Christmas Eve. It was adorable. But yeah.
Take that, Santa Claus.
But yeah, and then I think the only other piece of Infinite merch that exists, I think Jack's Pacific made an Infinite figure as well that came with a little Phantom Ruby, but I don't have that one. So I can't comment on its quality. But yeah, Infinite's just kind of cursed with very flawed merch. Yeah.
I just realized I accidentally made Eggman like start moving aside instead of like back, but I don't think anybody nor myself would notice.
But yeah. And like another thing I would do with my Infinite plush is because, you know, in the Devoid of Meaning, there's that one joke that I keep getting a kick out of, like, I just discovered I liked bread. So I would photograph like Infinite plush with like loaves of bread.
Yes, that was like just a running gag for a while.
I was just photographing loaves of bread. At one point, I took a photo of him with like Wonder Bread. I'm surprised. I don't have that photo anymore, though. I don't know, like, I
It's
don't know what phone it's on or
wonderful.
anything. Yeah, I have to show that to
can't
Wonder Bread
recapture
guy.
the magic.
Yeah, so like I would just photograph him with bread.
I still find it funny when when Infinite was a new character and so many people were at first like upset with me on why does he sound so bored, and I said that's the point. And like later, like when you get to know my version of Infinite, that's when like it's like, oh.
Yeah. your version of Infinite's just crazy, but in a good way. But yeah,
Yeah.
like that's a character with a lot of missed potential, unfortunately, and it's just like I want to shake a Sonic right over the shoulders, and I'm like, what are you doing?
I just want to know, like, the thing is, it's one of those. I think Sonic has hit the point of Kingdom Hearts where it's like, okay, it's all about the lore. How does like our next game tie into the lore? Because we really wanted to do like, I don't know, let's just throw out like we really wanted to do a Sonic Frontiers meets Sonic whatever is the new popular game right now. Let's just say, I don't know. So, think of a game that Sonic would rip off because Sonic loves ripping off. Sonic and Mario and plus Rabbids. This time it's Sonic plus Tails or something. I don't know.
You can't even think of one.
No, I can't. And let's just say like that happens. And it's like one of those, okay, so how does this tie in with Sonic Frontiers? Who cares? Just do it. And if it's like when people ask, just say it takes place right after Unleashed. Everything must take place right after Unleashed. That is our safe ground.
Yeah, the lore is just kind of convoluted a little bit.
Because I
But
know,
again,
like, people did
unfortunately a
question
side effect of,
where
like-
Dream Team takes place, and we never got an official answer.
Yeah, like all the weird lore stuff that's happening now is just a side effect of the series not having like concrete lore for the longest time.
Yep.
So it's just a side effect of that. It's like Lupin continuity, where Lupin functions like Lupin thrives on not having like a concrete continuity, but in part 4, they actually have like a linear storyline going on that involves like Lupin and this one Italian movie star lady and all that. You have to watch everything in order. So like that's Lupin attempting to have continuity for a season.
Yeah.
And I think part 5 also is linear and has a plot and has continuity to it. But because you
that
could
one Lupin movie we saw, like, definitely expected you to already know all these characters.
yeah, that was awful.
Yes.
It was awful. That was one of the worst Lupin movies I've ever seen. But yeah,
I tried to get us to watch a crossover movie, but I couldn't stream at the time. So yeah.
Yeah, we still gotta watch Lupin versus Cat's Eye.
Yeah.
Because like that's a pretty good one. And like you know what Cat's Eye is, right?
Yes.
I got introduced to Cat's Eye from Lupin versus Cat's Eye, but honestly, they explain it well enough where you don't have to know any previous like Cat's Eye lore to enjoy Lupin versus Cat's Eye. So yeah.
I love
Mike,
how so far this whole stream has been like about Sonic drill.
Mike Darklighter is saying, Lupin went crazy with how it tried to have continuity and even tried to tie in the previous parts. Yeah. And then it's like, because Lupin has been young forever, you got like, Lupin's kind of age ambiguous at this point, where it's like, okay, well, how old is this dude? Is he immortal and just young forever? Are all of his friends immortal and young forever? Because, like, how? How do you do this?
It's one of those that would be fine, but when you actually start introducing like time periods, it starts getting crazy.
Yeah, because Lupin's a very timeless character when you think about it. He's just kind of a fun idiot who's also a genius, who's a little bit perverted, but also just likes having treasure and likes the thrill of the hunt for a nice piece of treasure and all that. So, like the concept is timeless. But then it's when you try adding like eras to it, like in the 80s and like in the 70s and 80s, like DNA evidence didn't really exist back then, or it might have, but it was not as accurate as it is today. Lupin in modern day, however, you know how much tracking there is in technology. You know how well DNA evidence has become. Like, yeah. So a lot of people have made the argument like Lupin could not function in the modern day, but like that's what recent parts are starting to do. in addition to having like linear plot lines for that particular part.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's interesting. I like Lupin is just a weird thing, and I like him. He deserves a head pat, but I'm gonna need some Fujiko style weapons for self defense around Lupin. Yeah.
What does that even mean?
Like, I think Lupin's more perverted as a character in like the earlier parts, and a lot of other one-off like specials and all that. But like, I think it's been toned down a little bit.
Well, yeah,
just because,
much
yeah.
other stuff. Yeah, they don't want their character to be too pervert now.
Yeah, but again, I feel like that it's just representative of him being an idiot because he's supposed to be a genius, right? He's supposed to make all these wacky inventions that help him steal stuff. But he's also, like, sometimes he just thinks with the head in his pants, and I think that balances him out.
Mm.
Because, like, think about it. He's rich. He comes from a family of phantom thieves that always, like, steal their target. He's a genius. And all that. You need a lot of flaws to balance that out and not have like an OC donut steal. And,
Yes.
and all that. So it's like, yeah, like Lupin is very flawed. Like he's smart on paper, he's very accomplished on paper, but he's also kind of a moron, and that's why you end up finding him charming.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah.
The thing that most people are probably not going to be able to see is like Sonic lowly ripped right into modern Eggman here, but we're not going to see that.
Oh, he's gonna have a hole in his stomach like Death Becomes Her.
Okay, there we go.
I have a hole in my stomach!
Ah! I'll worry
It's
about
gonna turn
like...
into a mouth like Jinpachi.
Yep. I mean, there's already Eggman like screaming in pain, like ah. Let's. Next, I'm gonna have to change Eggman's face, kinda. No. Probably gonna still be. Ah.
Oh, there's a question that we kind of like glossed over.
Oh yeah.
Knife Fury level 31 asking, speaking of which, do you ever plan on that final episode of Devoid of Meaning? If not, that's fine. You got a lot of other projects.
Yeah, like I do have a lot of other projects. The one thing that I kind of vowed to myself before I work on anything else on finales is Sonic Reminiscent. That I started it. That's one of like my top secret like projects that I haven't been talking about at all. So just know that it's being worked on. The thing I'm working on the most right now, because you know, once I get back to work and all that, I'm not gonna have the time. I am working on the supersonic fight. That is all I can say.
Yeah, because like Reminiscent has been a thing that you've been working on for literal years, but every time you come close to finishing it, something always happens. So it's like not talking about it at this point is probably what's keeping it safe.
The thing is, not really. The thing is, right now, when I was talking with Ratchet Mario, when she was telling me about like how her computer was gonna die, I was like, how old is your computer anyways? And she said like, I think 5 years or something. And then it made me think like, how old is my computer? And then I realized, oh, my computer is ancient now. Oh man, what will happen if one day like the hard drive like fails again? It's like, ah!
Oof.
Something tells me like if anything's gonna end my computer, it's probably gonna be that. And it's one of those, I have like, I literally have like 4 different backups on the ready. I already have it like backed up in so many files, like flash drives. I'm like, I'm keeping this thing alive.
I mean, I could imagine like that was me with my old laptop, where I kind of developed a routine with my old laptop because prior to my current computer that I am blessed to have, my old laptop, it was, you could almost predict it like yearly, like every July or every August, it would just like shit itself and just need to like do something to itself, and I'm like, oh no, you guys, and I'd be like crying and having a panic attack in the Discord call on my phone. On phone Discord, and I'm just like, you guys, I don't know what's going on. It's like, this computer's only a year or 2 old. Why is it not working? Why is it doing this? And they would have to play tech support with me. And when I'm in panic mode, I'm kind of unbearable to be around. But they would tolerate me, and I'm thankful for that because I have no other form of tech support anywhere near me. Um, and they were like, "Yeah, like laptops aren't made the way they used to be. Like you just need to invest in a new computer, maybe a desktop that way you could swap out the parts over time and not have to buy like a new $800 computer every year or two." And
Yeah.
I'm like, "Yeah, but I don't know how to shop for computers. Could you guys help me?" So yeah, like it got so bad that every night before shutting it off, I'd plug in a USB stick, download whatever files I was working on that day, and
Mm.
then just have it on the USB stick. And then eventually, I got so fed up with like, I'm just causing myself more anxiety trying to work on this thing that I'm not gonna have any important files on here. I'm just gonna write down all my important stuff on paper, just work on it on paper for a while until I can actually like save up to get a new computer or, something better can happen. So yeah, it was bad, but sometimes you do what you gotta do, but then sometimes it's like it just becomes too much and it's like, ah, damn it, why are computers priced like luxuries when they are basically necessities?
Yep, basically. And right now, like, I'm like, wow, my computer is like, even though I only have like a small preview thing on just to show the stuff not to be too boring, my computer is already like, you know how many things you have on effects that's on the ready, even if they're like just simple like fake effects. It's like one of those, it's still effects, we're still running, and my computer's like turning on the fans, and I'm, oh damn. At some point
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to make another part of the file so it's less heavy.
yeah, that's the thing. It's like, and like for me, like I'm for the first time in forever, I'm in a position where I have a very powerful computer, and I've just been spoiled by the games I'm now able to play, like Cooking Simulator, American Truck Simulator. I got addicted to RimWorld, and RimWorld is is like Prison Architect beats The Sims, but in survival mode, and I love it. I love it so much. I treat my little RimWorld colonists like I used to treat my Sims, but like that's a very powerful game. Had I gotten RimWorld on my own laptop, I'm pretty sure RimWorld would have killed my laptop, and it would have been terrible, and I would not have a computer. But yeah, so it's like I worry about that too sometimes. Like sometimes I hear the fan running, and I'm just like, "Am I abusing you?" And I look at the PC tower, and I'm like, "Am I the bad guy?" I don't want to be mean. I just want to play my games in peace. And like, there are stories I'm simulating in RimWorld that I'm like writing down on the sidelines, but I'm using RimWorld as a simulation. But am I being mean to you? Like, with your fans, all being huffy and puffy, like. What? And then what I also have to do, I have to get compressed air so I can like dust out the PC tower from the inside. Because I ran out of compressed air. I've been needing compressed air for a while. But also, compressed air is so fun to play with. That is my new addiction. When I have a can of compressed air, I just want to clean everything just to see if it blows off. It's so much fun.
Like, can you be clean? Ah, yeah.
Can you be dusted out? Ah, yeah. But yeah, so it's like sometimes I worry like not only like I really like RimWorld, but it might be mean to my computer. Should I invest in like a RimWorld only computer so I don't make this one suffer? Like, what, am I the bad guy? What do I do?
No,
And
it's the game developers that are at fault.
yeah. And then the worst part is that I also play a heavily modded RimWorld, so that's yeah.
I'm starting to think you are the bad guy here.
I like RimWorld. I really like RimWorld because I used to really love Prison Architect, but not for the reason that I think a lot of people like Prison Architect. Because like I'm the weird kind of person where I like simulation games, but I like simulation games that have like God mode or debug mode enabled, so that way I could just do whatever I want. And then I just get distracted building stuff for hours on end. And it just helps relax my mind, and I'm just in like a zen state of like I can think about anything, like I can do anything, and it's relaxing. And what I used to do with Prison Architect was that I would fire up Prison Architect, and then I would just like build things. And while I'm building things, you get so zen and you get in such like a state of like concentration with building stuff, but it allows your mind to just kind of free up space and think about other stuff. So yeah, I would just kind of multitask like that. Like I'd be building things in Prison Architect, but then I'd be thinking like, oh, well, like other stuff, creative stuff.
Mm.
And I'm kind of the same with RimWorld, but again, RimWorld I kind of treat like The Sims because it's more of a survival simulation, and like colony builder, and it's like, okay, well now I have three things to think about. I can build stuff to my leisure, I can think about the stuff that I want to, and then I could also like care about the lives of my little RimWorld colonists. Like my one of my little RimWorld colonists had a miscarriage, and I was like, oh my god, no, that baby was gonna be awesome. I can't believe she had a miscarriage, and I'm getting attached to this little person made of bits and bytes. And it's so awesome though. Like it is a fascinating game with like a million different systems going on at once. And it creates a really amazing survival simulation that is, again, it's like The Sims, but like if it was just the Castaway DLC, like not DLC, if it was just like The Sims Castaway spin-offs, but like with the art style of Prison Architect. And for that, it's really amazing.
Okay,
And
I am gonna ask the chat on where this is gonna be leading up to. Is Eggman going to slam Sonic, use the Chaos Emerald, use the Chaos Crystal, or bear hug him?
I don't know if you want to bear hug someone that's like carving a hole inside of your torso.
That yeah, clearly one of us has never seen the Kingpin fight.
Emerald the Galate is saying, so I turned 21 in 4 days.
Well, happy birthday!
Weird.
I hope you enjoy your 21st.
But yeah, one of the things I can't wait to try out, like at the month for the freaking Yakuza 8 for my. That is something that I've been wanting to play. The only thing that I'm annoyed with is Sega putting a paywall in Game Plus.
Oh yeah, that's annoying.
Yeah.
I remember you showed us that part and you were like chewing it out, and I'm just like, yeah, I can see it. I can see why you're pissed off at it.
Oh man. See, I judge Sega not just for Sonic. I judge them as a company in general.
Emerald also saying, I won't be drinking wine though. Honestly, the whole stigma of like you're 21, you could finally drink alcohol. I had a little bit on my 21st birthday. Not a fan. Way overhyped. So it's like if you don't want to drink, you don't have to drink. It's not like a mandatory thing you got to do when you turn 21. Like it is entirely up to you. And then my piece of advice is that if you are going to try alcohol, no matter what amount of alcohol you end up trying, have a friend that you trust to take care of you in case of anything. Like in case the alcohol makes you sick, in case you have an allergic reaction to the alcohol that you're consuming, in case you become a completely different person when you drink alcohol, and all that. So like have a friend you trust like in the room with you that can like take you home and keep you safe, or take you to the hospital if you need the hospital. Could take you outside for air if you need air, you know. Just have yourself a buddy if you end up drinking when you turn 21. But yeah, like if you don't,
Hedgehog.
but yeah, it's like if you don't drink when you turn 21, it's not a big deal. Like people might start to pressure you to drink, but it's like, no, it's my birthday. I do what I want. If I don't want to drink, I don't want to drink.
Like I know in
Well,
El Salvador, like I remember like some people were like going. I think I had to go there like oh yeah, I had to go there because my brother was getting married at my 18th birthday, and you know, the family and everybody had to go to El Salvador, and it was like one of those, oh, you're 18 and the legal age in El Salvador is like 18. Are you gonna be drinking and this and that? And I'm like, no, I don't really care for it, and I still don't. To this day, I never had any alcohol.
Yeah, like honestly, I feel like alcohol is very overhyped in this culture, where it's like, you know, you could have some and it's like just tastes like piss. I don't like it. It's like that's why I'm such a big fan of like daiquiris or any sort of like cocktail that's basically a slushy. Because I also just grew up with a lot of like my family used to make coquito like all the time. But the thing about coquito is that you don't have to put the alcohol in it. It's basically just a coconut slush. And daiquiris are basically a strawberry slush, or there are other like flavors
Oh.
of daiquiris, like mango daiquiris, and other stuff like that. So it's like it's just slush.
I noticed a question. Bull Studios said, "Did you enjoy Sonic Prime? If you saw it, I did see all of it.
I thought I enjoyed it.
Yeah. I did not like it at all. I really hated that show. But I watched everything, and it's like one of those. I have the character models. I'm willing to make animations, but did I like it? No.
Yeah, you didn't like it. I thought that it was okay for what it is, but then the whole Sonic and 9 thing kind of gets a little bit repetitive after a while.
I know that people who even liked it said like that what killed it for them. Yeah, because season 3 was 6 whole episodes of nothing but that.
I feel like in general they're trying to make him more of a pacifist and trying to make him like, let's reason with the person, let's reason with people, let's talk to our friends. It's like sometimes your friends are toxic people and you can't get through to them.
What's
and sometimes
funny?
You just have to drop them.
What's funny is that like a lot of people were comparing him to Steven Universe. I remember like Jack and I were talking about it. And it was one of those like here's the thing about Steven Universe though. Yeah, the kid can be really annoying about like how much of a pacifist he is, but even that character like hits a point in time when he knows like, you know what? I tried all the peaceful routes. Yeah, it's time to like actually start smacking this person around to learn their lesson.
Yeah. So it's like you always gotta have your limits.
It's time to pull the chancleta the Spanish way.
Yeah, like you gotta have your limits of pacifism. Because if you try to be a people pleaser, you try to be friends with everybody, you are eventually gonna get stabbed in the back by someone you thought you could trust. And it's very unfortunate, but that happens. It happens in real life, it happens in fiction, but it's like, you can't be nice to everybody. Like, you're not gonna give flowers to somebody who, like, stabs you in the stomach. It's not that, no, you can't be people who are that severely mean to you or betray you that badly. So, it got a little bit repetitive after a while, where it's like, come on, he's our friend, I want to talk to my friend. Like, the subtext is that, like, he just wants to save all the versions of Tails because, you know, like there's still a little bit of his Tails in there.
He's not even though like he doesn't question like what about Eggman? Was there any Eggman left in any of the other Eggmans?
He just cares about his buddy. He just cares about the little fox boy. He just cares about his friend.
None for Knuckles or Amy, man.
Yeah. So it's
like
it's one of those. It's like the subtext is there, but it's like if that's supposed to be the subtext for why he cares about 9 so much, why isn't that subtext there for everybody else? Is it because 9 suffers the most? Then possibly, yeah, because 9 is just kind of a evil guy.
The way you just worded it made it sound like Sonic is aware that he has trauma, but he doesn't care.
Yeah, like it just occurred to me, like that variant of Tails' name is 9, right? And there's this one popular piece of, like, Tails fan art that has him in, like, a 9 Inch Nails shirt. I wonder if that was meant to be, like, a subtle jab. But anyway.
Why you do this?
But yeah, so yeah, like, 9 is clearly having a bad time. He's a little emo teenager, essentially. So it's like maybe that's the reason why so much emphasis is being put on him.
Or do you think it's because like Tails actually aged once and he's 9 years old now and he like this is what Sonic is gonna suffer from once Tails reach finally that good old 9.
But yeah, it's like it's weird. Again, it's all subtext. I'm getting this all from subtext, but this isn't actually said like verbatim in the show or anything like that. So that's just my inner psychologist and writer person assuming stuff. Other than that, no idea what could be going on there. No idea. Like, just stop trying to apologize for people that are literally trying to kill you. Like, that's how abusive relationships start.
I mean, even Shadow was so annoyed with him, but like going like, okay, that's it.
But yeah, and then that's the other thing. Like that's how abusive relationships are. Because like what I like to do, like this is a fun writing experiment for y'all writers out there. Take two characters that are the same gender, have them have a conflict that, like, one is being a bit of a toxic friend, or you know they're having a disagreement or whatever. And then I want you to like flip the genders around, like have the like say like Life is Strange, for example, the first Life is Strange. That's two girls like having a really toxic friendship. Change Chloe, the blue-haired one, into a guy, and see if you tolerate them being friends anymore. And see if you tolerate them having a little bit of romantic chemistry together. See if you tolerate that then. If it's Chloe as a guy being abusive toward Max. And in the case of Sonic Prime, change Sonic into a lady in that situation. It's like, no, but we have to talk tonight. We have to make sure that like he's okay and that he can work with us.
Yeah.
Change that to a girl, and it suddenly becomes like, no, you're a battered wife. No, stay behind. Don't talk to him anymore.
Or,
yeah.
Replace 9 with Amy.
Yeah, so it's like that's a good way to test if like your relationship is toxic in whatever fiction you are trying to write. It is up to you whether or not you want to keep it, but again, like there's that subtext there. Like, can this person be redeemed if you flip the genders around? And if you flip the genders and you can identify that it's an abusive relationship, would you tolerate it? Should it be tolerated in whatever universe you are trying to craft? Would this be a good lesson for somebody? If you are trying to write a piece of fiction that is to promote a lesson, like that kind of thing.
Because that's what a lot of stories are like. They tend to have lessons for like, you know, everything, especially like animations and stuff like that.
Yeah, like anything that could theoretically have a younger audience.
Yeah.
Whether or not the demographic is intended to be a younger audience.
Yep. Okay, so what's gonna happen right now is that Eggman is gonna grab the ball and Sonic is gonna get off of the ball, and it's like that's when Eggman is gonna start like flipping and slam Sonic down hard on the ground. So that's
your
gonna,
poll
that's
has
gonna
ended.
Be...
Yeah, your poll ended, and
Yes.
I guess we're slamming Sonic like a ball.
Yep, that's what's gonna happen. Gonna be slammed.
Yeah.
I just need to fix this camera because the
Get a
camera is...
ball smack.
Eggman is down, he angry, like, this hedgehog, he drilling a hole in my chest.
There's a hole in my stomach!
Yes, and Eggman is not pleased about that. God.
I really gotta watch Death Becomes Her.
Hmm?
Okay, there's this movie called Death Becomes Her that has Meryl Streep and some other actress that I don't know the name of, but in one scene in that movie, the other actress whose name I don't know gets a hole in her stomach. Like she's been shot in the stomach and now all that's left is like a giant hole where her stomach used to be. So there's one scene. Let me find a gif of it on Discord. There's a hole in my stomach.
Hopefully sometimes that doesn't work.
Yeah. That's all my stomach. Death Becomes Her. I found it!
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it's a scene from Death Becomes Her. Like, she got something in the stomach and now there's just like a perfect circular hole where her stomach used to be. Yeah. Death Becomes Her is a weird movie that I've only seen clips of, but I can tell by the clips that I will automatically love it. If I were to watch the whole thing, I want to watch the whole thing. It's a weird movie.
Yeah. Man, the one thing I always do wonder to this day is like, man, imagine the character Chris comes out in today's time. I feel like Chris would definitely be time around. I
feel like if Chris came out today as a character, he'd basically be the Steven Universe of Sonic continuity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like, he'd probably be written like, the thing is, like, what a lot of people tend to forget is that, like, kid characters, especially
Our
like
kids.
yeah, so they're not always gonna be the most selfless person. Like it's one of those. I get what they were trying for Chris. It's just it wasn't like well done. Like some people blame the rich aspect, and it's like yes and no. It's just one of those like Chris just wasn't really written well by his lack of better words trauma.
Yeah, and it's like when it comes to kid characters, it's like the people who like seem to hate these like any sort of kid characters, like have a just boner, like a hate boner for like child characters or child coded characters in general, especially when those child coded characters act like selfish or childlike. It's like, were you not a kid at some point? Like, were you not able to relate to that at some point? Because it's like, even if you were the most selfless, saintly, perfect, well behaved, a well mannered, skilled, talented, whatever kind of child you think that you were, that you can't relate to that or like can't appreciate what a child is being a child. Like, you were a child at some point, and kids don't have fully developed brains, so they're gonna act selfish, they're gonna act crazy, they're gonna be hyper, they're gonna be uncontrollable, they're gonna drive you bonkers. But guess what? It's because their brains are still developing. They're not a fully formed adult yet. So, yeah, they're gonna be flawed characters because they are flawed in the brain, because they're not developed yet.
At first, I thought you were gonna end it with "Mom." You
No.
hear that?
Yes. But yeah, like I think that's like the biggest thing about like writing kid characters that like can annoy a lot of people because you have two types of kid characters. You have the types of kid characters that are reasonably flawed, like a child character would be, even if that makes them like borderline annoying. But then you realize in hindsight, like watching whatever you were watching as a result, it's like, oh yeah, like there are kids like that. There are kids that just exist to cause chaos and be annoying because like when you're a kid, you don't know any better. And all that. And then there are people who write kid characters as like mini adults when the kid has no reason to act like an adult. Like I can understand if maybe the child has trauma and has been forced to like grow up a little bit too fast. But then it's like, oh, well, this kid doesn't have any trauma at all. They're just very adult like. It's like, okay, well, are they a little bit neurodivergent? Maybe that's why they're a little bit more of an adult. No, they're just normal. This is like it's at a certain point it's like, okay, well, this person doesn't like kids, but they were asked to write a child character. Like this is like the kind of kid that they want to have, but they don't. So they're taking it out on their piece of fiction that they're writing. And as like wish fulfillment of like, ah yes, I want a kid who's basically an adult because I don't actually like kids. I like the idea of children, but I just want a mini adult who knows how to function.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. That actually happened earlier in this fight little animation that he actually used one of the chaos crystals against Sonic. But unfortunately, the winner is slamming a Sonic. But
Yeah.
he'll use the chaos crystals a little later.
He's gonna give him a big old slap.
Oh no, he's gonna slam him like a wrestler. He's gonna be all hungry of Sonic.
I don't know who that is. What?
Go to bed.
No!
I think I'm gonna have to end the stream so you can go to bed.
No!
God, only know who John F is, man. Chat, please, for my sanity, please tell me you know who Jungief is.
Is that like a real person or is that a video game character?
Video game. That hurts even more, Sam.
Wait, Zangief?
Jungief, yeah.
You said John Geef.
Whatever. Same difference. See, now you know.
You said John Geef, but I'm like, who?
Who in the world is Jungief?
I don't know. I heard you say John Geef. We are being asked if we've seen the Final Destination films. I have not.
A long time ago. Like I don't remember much about it. Like I just remember they.
Yeah, I'm kind of like I feel like there's already so much death and everything that it's like I would not want to watch a movie like Final Destination on purpose. Like, it's like, well, everybody's gonna die, so it's like, what's the point?
Well, the point is the journey of how they die, but yes.
That's not a compelling enough reason for me to watch something like Final Destination.
Okay, so we're about to start wrapping it up soon. I'm just gonna finish Eggman just out of his ball form, and that's when I'll probably off screen on Eggman like spinning Sonic around and as they come down. Because in Modern vs. Boom Eggman, I already showed that he knows some wrestling moves. He did a slam to Boom Eggman like on top of his ship.
Yeah, he's a strong old man.
Yes. He is the Hi-Chi.
Heihachi.
Yes.
It's pronounced Heihachi.
I did that as a test on you.
I played Tekken when I was like 7.
Yeah,
Of
and
course I know who he is.
No. Zangief.
No.
Okay, so Eggman has officially stopped Boom Sonic from like attacking him any further.
Eggy would be the best workout bros in the universe. They'd be the workout bros in this universe, I should say. I read that wrong eventually. But
Yes.
they could be workout buds.
Yes. Alrighty. So there we go. How do you feel about let's see, like I'm gonna have to start like actually diving into Boom Sonic's textures, and I have to dive into Eggman's textures as well, because I feel like Eggman's chest would not be so smooth. I think he needs to have like a little damage at his stomach now.
The shirt.
Like I'm debating like maybe some scratches in his rib section, like some
Yeah, like give him
blood
some battle scars.
Yeah. And then Boom Sonic is gonna look very so I'll probably
it's
start
basically
doing...
just like sandpapering his skin, so there's gonna be some blood and tissue and viscera on there.
Yep. Yeah, I do hope to have this episode done like when it
Well, that'll be a fun birthday gift to yourself.
Yes, that is the main goal that I have in mind. Like, that's gonna be done like at February.
Nice.
And what are you gonna do for your birthday?
I hope I could go eat somewhere.
Or you can just lock yourself in a room and eat cheesecake.
Yeah, no matter what, I'm gonna have cheesecake. That's a given.
Cheesecake is nice.
Yes. Alright. Gonna be close. Alright. So, Sam, is there any final sayings that you want to do before we start wrapping up?
I mean, I can't really think of anything.
Okay, so...
The only thing I can really
let's
think about is that, like, I hope I can start streaming soon, and then hopefully you guys will watch if you find me entertaining on my own.
You'll be promoted, don't worry.
And then obviously I could have you guys, like, visit and stuff. And then maybe I could draw you, like, PNG tuber avatars and stuff. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright. So let's see. Maybe we should wrap up. So you get to spend some time with you. All that.
Yeah.
All right, everybody.
Well, what if I go into the other room and she's like, "What the heck do you guys stream? What are you guys doing there?"
She starts judging you, and you have plenty of time to explain yourself.
He's like, "What's a Sonic? What's a 9?" I'm like, "No, I don't want to explain."
He's like, I've been watching you, Sam.
My
Explain.
mom's not my mom
Ex-
does not give a flying fuck about a Sonic. She would not. She would know. She wouldn't know who you are.
Explain this Eggman character. Is he single?
No, no, no. I'm gonna get the spray bottle. No.